TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
The patrons of the 14th Regional Investment and Capital Market Conference have gotten the opportunity to sit back a little and unwind as the annual networking session takes place. Business Access TV is here to bring you some of the highlights.
I just want to take this time out to introduce our managing director, Mrs. Street Forest, the lovely. She's going to come forward and give us just a few words on what has been happening, and of course to continue to, tell us that we need to enjoy ourselves tonight, because yes, we're talking business, we're talking about investment, we're talking about building a better nation, a better region, a better world. But Mrs. Street Forest, please come and grace the microphone. Thank you, ma'am. Looking lovely as usual. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Let me extend a warm welcome to you again at this function. I am really going to be very short, because what I want to really do is to thank you all for coming out. Thank you for supporting us for the last 14 years. There are persons here who are new to the event, some who have been with us for the last 14 years. I cannot stop by. I have to continue to thank our sponsors, our participants, and all the persons who have made this possible for us. As the evening wears on, I just want you to enjoy yourself, let your hair down, and ensure that we do what we need to do in terms of networking, meeting new people from all over the globe, and just enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Well, my name is Orlando Soto. I'm the CEO of Acobo Broker Dealer from Costa Rica. We're looking to list a mutual fund, real estate, in the Jamaican Stock Exchange. This is my first time at this event. I really congratulate you guys for the 15th anniversary, and also for the spirit that the event has over people, over companies that wanted to be listed on the exchange. And in general, to the CEO, she's wonderful. I think you have a gold mine in Jamaica, and for many years to come, and good progress to Jamaican companies.
So separate and apart from the Jamaican market being the best stock market in the world, what led you to thinking about listing in Jamaica?
Well, besides that, Jamaican broker dealers, good partnerships with them. They're good people, very sophisticated. I found very good partners. Very interesting market, not only because of the market, but also because of the people.
Which stock exchange is the best performing stock exchange for 2018?
Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Is she correct? Oh my goodness, you are correct. We have to thank every single member of the stock exchange, because we could not do it without you. Thanks for being the best performing stock exchange in the world.
So how was 2018 for your business?
Well, 2018 for my business was good. We decided to come to Jamaica because Jamaica imports about $1 billion a year in produce to service their resort community. I live in Las Vegas. Las Vegas imports about $2 billion a year of produce from California and Mexico. So we decided to come down here and grow produce and service the resort community. The investment conference has been great. Met a lot of people that I already have known, and then was able to meet some people that I hadn't known. So it's been very, very beneficial.
Is it your first year here?
No, I've lived between Montego Bay and Kingston for about 7 years, and moved back to the States in 2004, and I'm back now.
So what can we expect from your business for 2019?
You can expect us to launch in 2019 and grow produce, supply resorts, and expand and continue to grow.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Creating change. Building a future. Caring hands. Giving back. Touching hearts and shaping lives. Impacting our world for the better.
We go around Jamaica to visit a few of our most historical homes, each with their own little story. Our first stop, let's find out.
Dancers feel it good than another. If you find that me picking out a feather, don't bad mind my brother when him a go the leather. Money man up go get the cheddar. If you not like that, hold them there, hold them there, hold them there, hold them there, pull it up.
How have you been enjoying this evening's proceedings?
God, it has been fabulous. I've been having some wonderful opportunities to network. Just congratulating Mrs. Marlene Street Forest on the amazing job that she's been doing with the Jamaica Stock Exchange, how she's effectively led the team, just pulling out the best out of the people that she has around her, and how she's been, managed to keep the stock exchange on top, and just getting to know some other persons, some other players in the market, like Carlos from NASDAQ, and many other persons are here tonight.
So have you been at the conference overall?
Oh yes, I came here yesterday. I was here all day today, and tomorrow I'll be on. I'll be speaking in the afternoon, and I'll be here all day as well. It's a staple event for me. Like every year, I look forward to it. I mean, of the 14 years, I think I may have done 10 out of the 14 years. Yeah.
So you can basically say that this is certainly something that you have done in your calendar for every year.
Oh, absolutely, definitely. It has to be. Like, it's one of those events that get you started for the year. and you get to meet some of the people that you will need to help you to win all the plans that you have. So you identify all the persons who are there and say, yeah, you know what, let's partner, let's connect. So yeah.
Do you have a business?
Oh yes, so my original business is Pato Apparel, but I have formed out since then the Entrepreneurial You, which is a leadership and entrepreneurial brand. So we have a podcast, the Entrepreneurial You podcast, where I interview people like Seth Godin, Richard Branson, and so much more. And then there's Leadercast, Leadercast Kingston, Leadercast Women, and Leadercast Kingston is happening May 10 this year, so look out for it.
All right, so tell us, how have you been enjoying this evening's function?
It has been absolutely amazing. The vibe is nice, the food is good, and just to be at a function where it's rigorous, it's talking about figures all day, but just to let your hair down and just enjoy yourself and interact with the visitors from all over the world that's here to experience the stock exchange function this year.
Is it your first year here?
Yes, it's my first year, and I'm having a great time.
What brought you here?
Well, I wanted to see the launch of the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange because as an entrepreneur in the social enterprise space, it has been long anticipated and long fought for to see a social stock exchange. And I have friends like Defcan and Alpha who were part of that, so I really wanted to see the launch.
Certainly a good opportunity for social projects to get funding, and funding an issue for social projects generally in Jamaica?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I just wanted to note that in terms of the understanding of what social enterprise is, there has been a lacking because social enterprise, they don't only serve a social cause, but they are also enterprising, as the term says. So they make their own money, and when funds are invested in social enterprises, it's to make further social impact and to find other ways to be enterprising and make more money. So it's amazing that Jamaica has woken up and have smelled the coffee, because there are social stock exchanges in other parts of the world. And I think with this focus, then we can look at being number one more year. So just like 2015 and now 2018, and now we're looking at social value. So I think we have woken up, we have smelled the coffee, and the best is yet to come for the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Be sunshine when I look at you. Just a thing I can't explain. Just the things that you do. And if you get lonely, just call me and take a second to give to me that magic you make every day. Love me your own special way. Melt all my heart away with a smile. Take time to tell me you really care, and we'll share tomorrows forever. I'll always love you forever.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Accounting services, Providing financial information to our clients in a timely and accurate manner is a commitment that we feel cannot be compromised. Meaningful, well-organized financial records ensure that your business operations will run more effectively on a daily basis. Dodgen Global provides a full range of cost-effective accounting services, including the following: general ledger and financial statement preparation, bookkeeping, monthly, quarterly, annually, accounting system set up for new businesses, compilation of financial statements, audits and reviews. For more information and to discuss your requirements with one of our experts, please contact us today. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
In this one degree, you're able to do many things.
I think the field found me.
I'd rather work with the deceased than work with the living.
Let us open your mind to careers you've never considered.
Miniature model maker.
Game technician.
Animator.
Good job. Empowerment.
Career moves.
Anywhere money is, that's where I am.
Okay, what year did the Jamaica Pegasus first host the conference? That is the investment conference. You tell me.
I'm going to go with 2010.
You are absolutely right. Please to take this box from my hand because it's so heavy. On a clapping.
Also with me is a good friend of mine, Kamario Davis. How are you, sir?
I am good. How's it going?
It's been going well for me, but how's it been going for you? You're enjoying this evening's function?
I am. It's really good. You know, anything Jamaican is always enjoyable. I just said it's really enjoyable. I mean, really enjoying myself tonight.
What does Jamaica being the best stock market mean to you?
It means investment. It means more money in pocket for me. It means more money in pocket for the Jamaican people.
But as a young person though, do you think young people generally should be concerned about stocks and stock market performance, that kind of thing? Is that important?
In all honesty, I do think that they need to play a part in stock exchange because it is highly important as it relates to you creating a job for yourself. So generating income as a young person is very important. And so I think that young people really need to focus on the stock market to make some money.
Especially being that the youth unemployment rate is, though it's trending downward, it's still particularly high. So it's something that you think they should definitely look into, correct?
Most definitely, most definitely. We always want to venture into the traditional careers. We want to be doctors, lawyers, teachers, whatever that's all. But we need to start thinking about how to create employment for ourselves. Why not invest on the stock market? Why not invest into Walmart? Why not invest in Jamaica Boilers, Sagicor? Whatever it is that you feel you need to invest in, it's a really good opportunity, and I think young people of Jamaica need to start focusing there.
Hey, me say me love you like a free Wi-Fi. Me and you together like a pizza and rice. Without you, me can't sleep at night. Cause me fi be your husband, you fi be my wife. Why? Me say me love you like a free Wi-Fi. Me and you together like a pizza and rice. Why? Without you, me can't sleep at night. Promise you would I never leave my side. Me no need no password to get no access. Anytime you come around, instantly you connect like Wi-Fi pan. One of me gadget and you're full of energy like a magnum tonic wine. Me fascinated by everything you do. Looking at me future, girl, let me see you too. To the altar, me ready figure bring you go. The ratings you're taller than a pinnacle.
Street Forest, 14 years of celebration of knowledge exchange. How has it been for you this year?
It has been fantastic. You recognize that it has been really wonderful with the participants, the sponsors, and really those persons who have presented. We've had all the prime ministers of Barbados, prime ministers of Jamaica, past prime ministers, and they have given us quite a bit to think about. And what they have also given us is some amount of ingredients to go forward and do better. So I think that now we are poised to put in the necessary provisions in order to grow the capital market further than it is.
Historic launch this year, the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. Tell us about how the environment is feeling about that, how persons are reacting to that.
Persons are reacting positively to it. Persons who want to give have called. Persons who want to list projects have also called. It has been so positive. Persons have asked exactly what this is, and we are going to have to explain it and explain it again. But we have no problem with that because we know that the social stock exchange will contribute to the growth and development of the third sector, the social sector. And we know that this growth is going to be positive for the entire Jamaica.
So finally, what can we expect for the 15th staging?
Well, the 15th staging, we should really allow the 14th to be finished. But we know that the 15th staging each year, we get better and better. And the 15th staging, we want to embrace more of the region. We want to embrace more of the world. And definitely, as we do with each year, we say what has been achieved from the past. And naturally, for the 15th staging, we will want to report back to you to say, look, we have gained and garnered this amount of funds for the social exchange, and this is what it has done for Jamaica. So we want to report back to you the success that we have had for the 14th.
Certainly looking forward to it, and we hope that then Jamaica will still be the top stock exchange in the world. Thank you so much, Mrs. Street Forest.
You're most welcome.
We've come to the end of the 14th staging of the Regional Investment and Market Capital Conference's networking session. I'm Javon Keys for Business Access TV, serious about business.
So Business Access TV has impacted my business pretty much, in the obvious ways. Everywhere I go, people would stop me. Are you the girl that was on Business Access TV? I love your work is amazing. Of course, business-wise, orders came in through the interview. It's an ancient Japanese technique. The interview was great because I was able to explain my process and people really understood it. The impact of you doing an interview and showcasing it on Business Access TV is priceless. There's no dollar value for that. What is there to lose? You have everything to gain. It's been an amazing experience for me, and it will be for you.
Your business matters. Promote it on Business Access TV.
Career Moves has always explored interesting careers, highlighting all you may not have known about them. This season is no different.
Coming back to Jamaica, everyone's like, Fizzy what? Fizzy who?
When you find a bright boy or girl in the class and people say, what are you going to be? The parents will say, you have to go be a doctor, you have to go be a lawyer. Nobody says you have to go be a politician.
Let me see your hands!
Tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got. Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange wishes to help to develop the social sector. To that end, they have formed the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, which is a safe, efficient, and transparent platform that aims to promote social projects that build Jamaica and will inure to the benefit of all persons living in the country.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange is a company that encourages and mobilizes capital for the main market, and that is the market that is not the social sector. Now, the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange is really geared towards the social sector to help to solve social problems in the field of health, education, about children, environment. Those are some of the things that we consider social problems. And so it is to mobilize the capital, allow persons who have a desire to invest in a social good, to invest in the social stock exchange. It is designed in two parts. In phase one, where we look at social investment, and phase two, where we look at social impact investment. Now, in phase one, really what we are saying is it is donation. An organization will have a social issue and design it into a project or a program and invite Jamaicans or persons within the diaspora or the entire world to fund this program. Now, in phase two, you're going to get a return on investment, which is not social. You will be getting shares, natural shares, as you would get if you invested in the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And what you'll get is a return on capital, which is possibly dividend or an appreciation in that share. The Jamaica Social Stock Exchange does more than ask for the funding of these programs, but goes beyond that in terms of monitoring, ensuring that these programs are meeting the targets and the reason for them to have asked for funding in the first place. When we look at this new sector, it is important because holistically, if you do not look on the social sector, you do not improve the other sectors. We want to encourage all businesses in Jamaica to have a corporate social responsibility because it is good for encouraging and the growth and development of businesses.
Dodge & Global offers a CPA scholarship program to team members who join our team. A career in accountancy at Dodge & Global is a great choice and can offer you excellent job prospects. We believe that an accounting education is the greatest gift you can give yourself or anyone else. Few gifts make as significant an impact as the gift of an accountancy education with a job. It's a contribution that lasts a lifetime in the form of learning, opportunity, and success. Join our team and get the opportunity to be part of our CPA scholarship program. This scholarships awards program will be administered by the HR department of Dodge & Global. Requirements: first degree in accounting, employed at Dodge & Global, willing to pursue the CPA examination. Here's how to apply. Submit application to Staff Accountant, Dodge & Global. Email sa@dodgen.com.
This is Solomon Sharp, CEO Main Event Entertainment Group. You are watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
if you have to move about because of urgent business, if you have to move about to secure the necessaries of life, if you have to move about to get some exercise for your own health and sanity, that you do so observing strictly the hygiene practices that are recommended.
The hygiene practices Prime Minister Andrew Holness is referring to include frequent hand washing with soap and water, and the use of hand rub with 62% or more alcohol base, covering mouth and nose with tissue or the bend of your elbow when coughing or sneezing, and avoid touching your mouth, eyes or nose. We should all endeavor to protect ourselves and our families from COVID-19. This is Jamaica Magazine, and I'm Adrian Atkinson. The government has been working overtime to stem the spread of COVID-19 on the island. Containment measures include the imposition of a curfew from April 1 to 8 between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. the following day. Watch as the state shares more information on this and other measures.
Last week, we gave a direction to the Ministry of Health and the police force to work together with PICA and Custom to establish a list of persons who came into the island on or after the 18th of March, and that list is a comprehensive list, as comprehensive as we could get: name, passport number, and address. That list is then matched against those persons who have contacted the Ministry of Health, either through the telephone numbers which have been given, the email address which has been given, or the Jam COVID website. And we are now examining the records at the local health authorities in the various regions, because persons may have called in to those regions as well. And once we collate that, which we are now in the process of doing, we will take those persons off the list that we have of persons coming into the island. So now we will have a net list. Persons who have not reported are, at this point, and from the time they have not reported, in violation of the order that requires them to report, and violation of the law, that is the Disaster Risk Management Act, can result in a fine of up to $1 million and imprisonment or imprisonment. Most of the cases that we are seeing now are cases that have come into the island during the period that I have mentioned, that is between the 18th of March and the 24th. And the other cases are related to them. So the potential for spread and exponential spread is now directly related to that population that came into the island. Now, it is not all bad news. We have a record of 460 persons who have called in to the Ministry of Health. That number may grow as we search through the other databases. And I want to thank those people who exercise their good conscience, their good judgment, a high sense of patriotism, a high concern for individuals themselves and others, done their civic duty. They have isolated, stayed at home by themselves. They have sent home their home staff or other family members, sent them away. And they have reported their situation to the Ministry of Health. That is what we want to see our Jamaicans do. It pains my heart to having to read this, that we are going to have to go door to door to find, to literally pull resources from other areas which they are needed to do this, when all it requires is a simple phone call to 888 1 Love, or to go online to jamcovid19.moh.gov.jm and fill in the simple form. If everyone acts responsibly, we can keep our curve low. The government of Jamaica will extend the period of closure of our borders to incoming passenger traffic. We continue to refine protocols for the eventual controlled entry of Jamaicans. Additionally, the government of Jamaica, on the advice of the Ministry of Health, will extend the quarantine of the Corn Peace community for a further 14 days. As it relates to the stay-in-place orders that have been given, people refer to them as the curfew orders that have been given. Let me say that I'm generally satisfied with how Jamaicans have responded. And I think all Jamaicans should have a sense of pride in how we have responded. Just that one act of staying home at night, when maybe we should all be staying home anyway, but that one act would have slowed transmission. And for those who would want to violate, for those who would want to show hubris that they can flout the law, the state of Jamaica is going to show with deliberateness that we can enforce our laws.
That we have completed the first phase of a sanitization and cleaning program of all our infirmaries and golden age homes across the country. We employed 100 additional temporary workers to maintain the cleaning program in the facilities, and this will be accommodated over the next 8 weeks. Additionally, we have installed all the mechanisms and washing and sanitizing facilities. We have put in the necessary infrastructure to ensure that the 1,700 residents in our infirmaries and golden age homes are kept in excellent condition. We have started the program to ensure that all persons, as we had said before, visiting the facilities go through the necessary checks and balances to ensure that they are in good health, and we still maintain the restrictions on visits and admissions to our infirmaries and homes over the period. On Sunday, we commenced the all-island feeding program of the homeless communities through the length and breadth of Jamaica. And Prime Minister and colleagues, I want to advise you that so far we have provided breakfast and lunch for 10,000 such persons across the country, with the majority of those cases being in the corporate area. We are over 4,500 such persons in the corporate area have benefited from this. The ministry have also rolled out the program to take care of the outdoor poor, and I must say that within the first week of this program, we have reached some 22,000 Jamaicans who are registered as outdoor poor, including the 1,700 in our infirmaries. Colleagues, Jamaica, we have started the program to find shelter, and this is something that is of real concern because since the imposition of a nightly curfew, we have discovered that there are many Jamaicans that was not counted in the numbers of persons that are homeless have now turned up on the streets. We have provided 100 bed solutions at a location on Church Street, which we activated last night. And this facility, as I said before, will facilitate 100 such persons, and also the Murray Atkins facility, which is running out of space. And Prime Minister, there is a need for us to pay some serious attention to this population. We have had roaming teams on the road driving across the corporate area and to all the parishes where we find these persons. We take them to the facilities, provide them with a bath, food, change of clothes, medical checkup. So we are in fact doing all that we can. Just quickly, Prime Minister and colleagues, the new market regulations have been working. We are watching to see what is taking place in terms of the efforts to try to get this social distancing within the markets. We know it's going to be difficult, but we are working on it. We are working closely with the Ministry of Health and the Social Development Commission to set out the protocol around how our markets are operating. The markets have installed hand sanitizers, washing basins across all the markets, and by now, all markets across the country would have gone through a total sanitization program. So we are watching to see what is taking place within our markets. I want to also announce that the Ministry of Local Government have provided some $50 million to the local authorities for the trucking of water to all municipalities across the country, and this program is ongoing.
Persons who came into the island that we have no knowledge of their health status because they have not reported, and they are ill, and they are infectious, and even if they recover, they could still be shedding. And even before they show symptoms, they could be infecting. If those persons are moving around in the country and infecting other people, and then all of a sudden cases turn up, that you cannot connect these cases to other cases that you know about, and you start to see this in increasing numbers, then you would say that the virus is at large in the community. And that is when now we would say we have definitely community spread. That means anywhere you go, you could get the virus. That means we couldn't say that we are quarantining any area really, because it doesn't make sense, because it's all over. Then you would have to go now with a different strategy. To curb that now, that is when you would have to do what other countries have been forced to do, such as a total lockdown. So I hope people understand why it is that the government is being so strict on these other measures. Social distancing, proper hygiene, stay at home, work from home, vulnerable stay home, so that we don't get to this community spread, where really the only tool to control the community spread would be to implement a lockdown. And we have tried our best. I think we have really exercised all our energies in this regard. But it really depends on what you do personally.
We know you want to be the best parent to your child, so we've decided to share some useful tips to make this a reality.
Wouldn't it be great if children came into the world so well adjusted or with manuals, therefore eliminating the need for parental discipline? This is not the case, however. Parents usually apply their methods or they depend on strategies taught throughout generations to guide their children.
8 in 10 Jamaican children in the 2 to 14 years age group experience violence as a form of discipline.
Coercive parenting involves the physical administration of pain as punishment. It also includes the use of harsh language that has the potential to hurt children's feelings and affect their general self-esteem and development. It also fosters aggression, because what you're really teaching children is that when there is an issue, we must resolve the issue through harshness, through aggression, through coarse language. There's a direct correlation between coercive parenting and the aggression that we see actually in society.
Damaging disciplinary practices have moved outside of the home and into the national consciousness.
The time has come for the Parliament to have a debate on this issue and finally declare corporal punishment at an end, both within public institutions and as a means of discipline available to parents. I think it would be a forward-leaning step in making a stance against violence generally, and it would send a powerful message about the state respecting the inviolability of the person, whether or not that person is a child or an adult.
Children need guidance, and many wonder if not with the rod, then how? Enter the National Parenting Support Commission, NPSC, an agency of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. The ministry established the commission in 2012 to provide parents with the requisite skills and tools to raise children.
We work at 3 tiers. We work at home, school, and community. Our first and most important priority, however, is to ensure that we're fostering the home-school relationship. We must ensure that parents as key stakeholders feel involved in the entire process of educating their children.
Now, to do this, the Commission assists parents in several ways, including providing psychosocial support, assisting parents with understanding the teaching-learning process, and conducting parenting education programs.
Through our effective parenting courses, we push proactive strategies. In other words, you are going to put structures in place before behaviors that you don't desire actually show.
Parents and guardians should consider the child's developmental stage when determining the best method of guidance.
A child who is very young, we encourage play. The child must be playing, and even the teaching learning processes must include play, because this is how they develop their imagination, their creative skills. This is how they also learn to resolve issues and to problem solve.
Young children, especially infants, are at the stage where they don't know right from wrong, and they can be impulsive. They may touch items that are valuable or dangerous. Usually, it is best to remove the child or the object from such a situation.
We don't believe you're to spank any at all, because that's a part of coercive parenting, and we don't believe that coercive parenting works. So what we encourage you to do, though, is to be firm and to be consistent. So if it means you have to say, do this instead, or do not go there a million times, then that's what you have to be prepared to do.
The teenage years can challenge both children and parents. With the physical and chemical changes happening in the body, teens may act out as they may be unsure of their place in the world.
This can be a very difficult time to navigate. So we ask that you start relaxing some of the very stringent rules, and you also have conversations and you compromise.
And to address challenges, caregivers can remove privileges.
If the child becomes stubborn, has a fixed mindset, if you will, that this is what he or she is going to continue to do, then you might need professional help. You might need to call the commission, or you might need to call a social worker or a guidance counselor to help.
Being a proactive parent means setting clear boundaries letting children know what is acceptable behaviors and why rules are in place. And don't forget to model behaviors you want young ones to display. There may not be a one-size-fits-all for raising children. By assessing the right information and using effective parenting techniques, we can nurture adults willing to play their part in making Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. To tap into information from the National Parenting Support Commission, call 876-967-7977 or visit their offices at 37 Arnold Road, Kingston 6.
The safety and well-being of persons with special needs, such as the elderly and persons with disabilities, continues to be a major priority for us at the Ministry of Labour and Social Security. We are making an impassioned plea to our senior citizens and persons with disabilities and their families and caregivers to exercise care and caution to protect themselves from this novel coronavirus. We are also urging all Jamaicans to be aware and follow the information from the health authorities. Wash and sanitize your hands regularly and practice social distancing. If you have any queries or special need assistance, please contact our toll-free COVID-19 emergency lines 888-429-5657-9. And you can WhatsApp us on 876-582-8988. We have a responsibility to work together and ensure that we have a healthy and safe environment for all of us in Jamaica.
Even as Jamaica steps up its fight against COVID-19, government is also scaling up activities to tackle incidents of domestic violence. If you or someone you know is experiencing abuse, call 876-553-0372 or 876-553-0387 for help.
Growing up, I've seen my father flip over the simplest of things. He would basically change from an angel to a devil in a flash. I remember this instance. My mom told me that she was coming home from work one evening because she worked very close to where he lived. She was coming home from work, and usually when you're leaving work, it's a lot of persons leaving at the same time, and she was talking to one of her co-workers and she smiled at him. He smiled back, and my father saw that, and when she went home, he was ready for her. He was like, "Oh, see, I smile at my panny road, you smile at my panny road." He beat her, he stripped her naked, and he chased her in front of the yard so all her co-workers could see. So all her co-workers could see her.
Domestic abuse or domestic violence is not just physical abuse. The physical abuse basically for us is the end product coming from somewhere else. So you have stalking, you have intimidation, you have threat, you have psychological abuse, the ones that I'll tell you, I play on your emotions as to what I can do.
It was known to everybody that this was the type of person she was dating, this was the type of man he was. Even the security at the gate, the manager, everyone. So it's not like her life was a secret. If she could not have any friends. He was the only person she could talk to, go anywhere with. If someone even talked to her and she not acknowledging them, she would get beaten for that. The least good thing, he would flip on her.
Usually, persons who are perpetrators of domestic violence are usually men, and usually they are persons who were controlling over their intimate partners. They tend to have a high level of jealousy, and they tend to be very possessive. And as such, you find that they will have a pattern of behavior where they will always check where the partner is by various means, whether by calling the person, asking the person where they are,
also want to know who are they communicating with. So are they communicating persons on email, WhatsApp, other social media platform? They also want to make sure that they know where they are at all times and that they're not interacting with other persons outside. So they tend to want to have them stay home, for example, and lose connection with their families and friends.
As community members, we have a moral responsibility that within our homes and within our communities, once we are aware that there are instances of domestic abuse and domestic violence and we seek help, best place to go? To the police. Ask the police to intervene. Intervention can be that the police directs the victim to a counseling center, because we have partnership with churches, right? We have partnership with other organizations, Justices of the Peace, counselors.
Every time she escaped him, he would either stalk her, chase her, go to her either friend's house, wherever she went, friend's house, mother's house, cousin's house, no matter where she went, he would find her, go for her with a gun, knife, machete, whatever it may be, and she would always have to go back with him. No one, no matter how much they tried to fight and help her, he would always get her back. And when she goes back with him, the beating got worse, the abuse got worse, the rape got worse, everything got worse.
Domestic Violence Intervention Centers, one of those facilities that were donated by the U.S. Embassy, and it's a partnership between the JCF and the U.S. Embassy, to create a facility where persons can come and speak about domestic violence and domestic abuse related issues within their home. And so it's a safe space for both victims and perpetrator. And it offers counseling to family members, to victims, also to perpetrators. We have two centers that are currently operational. One is at the Matilda's Corner Police Station. You can call the Matilda's Corner Police Station for that. The other one is at Air 5 headquarters. That's on the same compound as Constant Spring Police Station. The number is 702-5120 or 702-5121.
We also have available mental health and suicide helpline. And this helpline is a 24-hour service, which is toll-free, where persons can call. So it can be either persons calling on behalf of others that they have been exposed to domestic violence. So the helpline is toll-free, and it's 888-NEW-LIFE, which is 888-639-5433. And the 24-hour service, 7 days per week.
If you know someone is being abused, say something, do something.
And that's where we leave you on today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Stay on top of all the useful COVID-19 related information. Visit jis.gov.jm. Follow us on all the major social media sites, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or download our mobile app that's smartphone compatible. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Business Advisory. Realize greater growth and profitability. Navigating market changes can be challenging for any business. Our goal is to help you identify opportunities at any stage of your financial life cycle, ensuring you continue to meet your business needs in complex market environments. From startup through to expansion, tax advisory to accounting, Dodge & Global provides a multidisciplinary approach to managing the entirety of your affairs. We ensure your business remains profitable and competitive. You can expect practical advice, effective cost management, and a mutual respect for your goals and growth aspirations. Our commercial advice comes from extensive knowledge and experience working with a broad range of business and industry sectors. Dodge & Global can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
I'm Wayne Henry, Chairman and Director General of the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ. I'm Wayne Henry, Jamaican, born under the clock, as people would say. You know, good family background, last of 4 children, good friends, growing up, good experiences. Careers take me through academia, through the private sector, through international organizations, and now with the government. And I'm passionate, serious about the development of the people of Jamaica. Good parents, that's my dad and mom. My mom has since passed, but I think everybody should have the opportunity to say they have the best parents. And I think I'm lucky in that way. And people ask, who are your mentors? Who do you admire the most? And on the top of the list, I would say my dad, in terms of just his own upbringing, grew up poor and really worked hard and actualized through education and his own contribution to country. And a lot of that was instilled in us as children. So I have 1 sister, 2 brothers, and just tremendous environment growing up, and learning that it's important to live on purpose. And I'm big on that. I tell people, you want to take time to discover and uncover your own purpose. You have your own talents, your own gifts. You're fearfully and wonderfully made, and you want to be deliberate about life. I tell people, engage life. Don't just meander through life. Don't settle, but engage it. Pursue excellence. And I think really the world will be waiting for what you're carrying as you do that. My mother was from Cambridge, St. James. My father from Mavis Bank, St. Andrew. So in some of the summers, we'd spend time just consistently with relatives in the country, and I think that was a good rounded experience. So my mother, Merle Elaine Henry, was at the PIOJ for some 40 years. She was a secretary to Alexander Bustamante, and would tell us those stories as a young girl. She was just coming out of tutorial and her secretarial. She went on to the business administration and her undergrad and masters at UWI. She had worked at the UWI for some time. She was also at the Ministry of Finance for a short time. But then her substantive years was at the Planning Institute of Jamaica. So I grew up around the PIOJ and just had all this great respect, all these intellectuals and all the things to do. And it was interesting because she was very passionate about development, and I think I got a lot of that from her. We had all these nicknames for her, right? We used to call her the hero, right? She'd always come through anything, your mom will fix it. Huh? And we used to call her the lamb, L-A-M-B, because she was so gentle. And when she would get upset, you would know, people would know. If we were giving trouble as children and people were present, we had visitors also. When the visitors weren't noticing, she'd just show us the face. You give me trouble, when you finish, you gotta. And so that's funny. And she could. We were subject to discipline, right? We said a rod of correction was often applied to the seat of our learning, right? She was always big on helping people. When she would go in, as I got older and she was getting older, she would always visit where she grew up in Cambridge, St. James, and the people knew her well from growing up, and she would always carry gift back, packages, fruits, carry this for Miss One and this for Auntie this, and we just grew up around that and seeing her passion for that, and was very big on that, in helping people and giving. And she was active in her church, active in the Sunday school. She was a Sunday school superintendent. My father, again, grew up in humble circumstances, but again, just embraced life, really took education. So for him, education was key. And he always encouraged us, boy, go all the way when you're studying, go all the way. And we were allowed to be ourselves. So he would just encourage. He wouldn't mandate or force, but he would just say, boy, it would be good if you really pushed it. Huh? Through school, I would say I was, had good friends, but didn't fully engage, you sort of, going through and got your grades and just going through. But I think when I went into UWI, that's when the light really went on for me, and that call to purpose and higher living, if you will. You know, I'm a Christian, a believer, and I think that's important. That has defined me in a lot. And I think I encourage persons to have a paradigm for your life. You know, while I can subscribe and prescribe a Christian paradigm, it may be different for someone else. But I said the beauty about my paradigm, it governs my whole life, and it allows for mistakes. We're not perfect, and it allows me to still try to actualize to a better self and allow other people too. That in our relationships, you know, you want to be careful that we allow people to recover, we allow people to improve, we give those second chances, and I think that's important. As you're pursuing purpose, as you're moving towards a vision for your life, I tell people you have to travel light. You know, you don't want the baggage of unforgiveness, the baggage of bitterness. You want to travel light, and the joy, a pep in your step. There's something that can govern each day that will help you in terms of looking forward to what is to come, even incorporating mistakes and failures. I tell persons that success is made up of people who refuse to stop after failure. You know, you're able to get up again. And you think of a Usain Bolt, and when he falls started, and everybody thought, wow. But how do you get up from that? How do you recover? And the mindset that says there's still more, there's still better to come. And you know, you can be better off even having failed, because it breeds in you a humility, it breeds in you, you know, something else, a wisdom and an experience to continue to go. So I think, you know, good parenting, I think good family, you know, good friends. You know, you don't need a whole lot of friends. You just need some solid people around. And I tell persons it's okay for men to be pregnant, right? That you must be pregnant with vision. You must be pregnant with purpose. There's so much that if you really engage, if you press that pedal of your potential, you'll be surprised what comes out. We speak of not just decision making, but informed decision making. It's not enough to you know, this seems good. We want to have the numbers to support what we do, and we are in an age where, you know, mistakes can cost, and we've seen it in other jurisdictions, we've seen it in our own history.
We go around Jamaica to visit a few of our most historical homes, each with their own little story. Our first stop, let's find out.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
So I did my undergrad at UWI in economics and management, and went to work at Grace Kennedy for a year and a half, and then went off to school to continue in Washington DC at Howard to do my MBA. And when I was there, when I finished, and I was fortunate, I finished as a valedictorian on top of the class, and I went on to do my PhD. My dad went and did his PhD at the time in the 60s with, you know, Martin Luther King and in the heyday, and he would tell us these stories of when he was not served in restaurants, when he was asked to come off the train, and all these stories, and those stories of racism. And we heard them, and if you told me I would grow up to face the same thing, I would, because times have changed, and of course times have changed, I have improved, but you know, in many ways it's still alive and well. And as a black person in my program, the only black person, I got along with the students. And I remember that a particular exam was coming, and we were preparing for the exam, we had a past paper, and we divided the questions. Everybody, you prepare everything, but you present on the one they assign you. And what I presented onto the group came in the exam. When the results came, I got a low grade. And when I went to the group, and normally you don't discuss your grades, but I went to the guys and I said, guys, what did you do for this question? And I said, but this is the same thing you presented. And then I told them the grade, and they said, no man, something is wrong. I went to the professor, very senior, went to him, and in fact a Jewish professor also. And I said, sir, can you tell me where I went wrong on this? And he didn't even look at the paper. He was doing his work and he stopped and he said, Wayne, everybody seems to like you. He said, you have an MBA, go back to your country, make money. This is not for you. My advice, leave the program. And he turns around and continues. And can I tell you that thing hurt me? Hurt me. I went back to my room and I bawled. Big man in my late 20s, I bawled. Went and I said, God, you have to help me. I said, you have to help me. You brought me this far, you have to help me. And I was on the floor in my little room as a grad student, and I was crying, like a pipe open, I was crying. And I tell persons the stories as if somebody came in the room and stood up over me. Just the presence. And we say, well, as a believer, says the presence of the Lord. But just a peace came. Nothing outside the door changed, But the Bible speaks of the peace that passes understanding. And it just has sense that it's going to be all right. And this new professor, where I was now in development economics, he said, boy, listen, as fast as you can write and submit some manuscript to me, I'll get it back to you in 2 days. And those people who do research know a lot of your progress is based on how fast your advisor gets back to you. And he said that I'll get back to you in a short time. And as fast as I wrote, he would give me feedback. You want to address this? You want to consider answering this question? Would you explore it? And as fast as I wrote, he would give me feedback. And so when one day he just called me and said, Wayne, I like it. I think we have it. Graduate school, we're going to get the counsel, we're going to have you defend your dissertation. And it happened so fast, I defended and passed. So when I finished in December at Ohio State, I got an offer from UA, from Mike Witt, was the head of Department of Economics. Can you start in January? I said, boy, no, I need some time to pack up my stuff. And can you come February? And so we negotiated February. And I came in. Then the following year, I went back to Ohio just to visit, and some of my friends were still writing a dissertation. So finishing at the top of the class didn't mean ABC, that's not a PhD, but it just meant I finished. I finished and I was the first to finish. And I've realized, boy, that's how life is. God has a way of ordering your steps, opening doors that nobody can close, right? And even when things will count you out, he will count you in, right? And his purpose, he'll work it out if you give him that opportunity. And so I left UA, got an offer at the World Bank. And so I was just a smaller office, but I was the representative for the World Bank here. And tremendous experience also. And did that for maybe under 3 years. Normally you have 3 years in a duty station, but the president left and a new person came in and began the rotation. I'd asked not to leave Jamaica because I got married just shortly before that. And we wanted our children to be born and grow up here. And that's a discussion my wife and I had. So I went to my bosses in Washington and I said, can I stay in Jamaica? And they said, we can't control that. World Bank is very global and it'll move around. But give yourself an average 3 years and let's see if you still feel that way. When the rotation came, I still felt that way. And I said, boy, everybody's been rotated. So we can allow you to be a consultant, a short-term consultant, to give you time to look around for something else in Jamaica. And that's what happened. And so while I was looking around, a call came from Chris Tufton, and I said, no, I'm not, not in the politics. He said, no, not politics. I want you to come as an advisor. I like how you think. I want you to help me and bring some leadership and help me do some things. Prayed about it and I went in. And it was very rewarding. I liked it. I liked what we were doing and the engagement. And the desire that was innate in me, I think, from my parents and otherwise to help the country and to give to the development of the country. And did that for I think, maybe 2 years. And then got calls from the Ministry of Finance. And Minister Shaw was minister at the time. And he says, boy, Professor, we want you here because you're going to engage with the IMF. And we know your background. We need you. And I asked Minister Tufton's permission and I went over. And again, tremendous experience. So I've been fortunate to have very good experiences. And so I did that for some years. So I've transitioned from academia to international, to private sector. And the type of work all was very similar. Very similar: economic policy, policy development, those issues, development and growth issues. I started at PIOJ in July 2016. The PIOJs are critical. So it's the lead, it's a policy advisory and formulation agency of the government along the lines of economic, social, and environmental policy. And we collaborate. We are not a ministry, so a lot of what we do is that support. We help to draft and write policy, we do the research, we do the impact analysis, all the technical work, and to inform policies, even to speak to and to give advice on what we are seeing. We house, as you know, and monitor Vision 2030 Jamaica, the National Development Plan, our first real long-term plan for the country. And we measure it through these, what I call these bite-sized frameworks, these medium-term frameworks, where we break down, if you say 20 years, 30 years of vision and planning into some 3-year cycles to ensure relevance and to measure progress and those kinds of things, and to ensure alignment with all the ministries, departments, agencies, their own business and strategic plans to ensure we're moving and rowing in the same direction. I think the PIOJ is critical. People have said it coming in from abroad, and we've had requests to help to establish, to give consultancies to set up PIOJs, if you will, in other countries, other jurisdictions, because of the importance. Part of my role is to continue to articulate the end game for the team. This is what we're going after, and this is the big picture. We speak of not just decision making, but informed decision making. It's not enough to this seems good. We want to have the numbers to support what we do. And we are in an age where, mistakes can cost. And we've seen it in other jurisdictions. We've seen it in our own history over the years where, decisions taken that may be, expedient politically would not necessarily be what we would say would be fiscally prudent. If we were just to accomplish Vision 2030, we would have accomplished the SDGs to the tune of over 90%, 91%, and that's huge.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got. Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
This is Caroline Smith, marketing implementer for Sol Western Caribbean for Shell Lubricants, and you're watching Business Access TV, and they are serious about business.
Vision 2030 Jamaica, the National Development Plan, is a document that can be owned by all of us. And a lot of work went into it so it would reflect what we think is a collective, a sort of consensus of what the Jamaica we want in the future. And I think it's tremendous. I think Wesley Hughes was Director General at the time, and he had a lot to do with driving that process. And we credit him as such. The vision, 4 goals for Jamaica, and I think 17 outcomes in terms of what we want along the lines of Jamaica being a prosperous economy, having a healthy and stable natural environment, speaking of justice and the safety, human security. Tremendous, tremendous document. How are we doing? We started out in 2009. We've made progress in a number of ways in terms of infant and child mortality. We've seen 5 years of consecutive economic growth, and that's huge, that's very good. But obviously we want more robust, higher levels of growth, and we are careful that we want what we call inclusive growth, that everybody, no one is left behind. So while we speak of Vision 2030, Jamaica, the place of choice to live, work, raise families and do business, we speak of our Sustainable Development Goals, what we call our Agenda 2030 Agenda. And the SDGs now is a global platform where they have these targets and benchmarks. They did an assessment a year ago and found that these SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, that all these countries are buying into, having been established, they came and measured where Jamaica was in terms of our own development journey, our readiness and ability to implement these SDG targets. And they found that the SDGs, our Vision 2030, had over 90%, 91% alignment, which says that if we were just to accomplish Vision 2030, we would have accomplished the SDGs to the tune of over 90%, 91%. And that's huge. And they say that's probably the best in the world. And people are saying Jamaica is way advanced. So we get a lot of invitations to present on what went into our process of developing Vision 2030. How do we get it going so well? How do we have a country, following and buying in and so. So a lot to be said in terms of positively. We have some areas that we need to continue. We think environment, and while we are seeing activities and ramping up our efforts to build resilience to climate impacts. We can do very well in meeting economic targets and the country progressing, and we're seeing the unemployment number coming down, more people being employed, jobs being created, and these are tremendous, and people see it. In international community, the investors, the rating agencies, it's reflected. Jamaica is being regarded more and more highly in terms of in the international circles. So we have to build more resilience to these climate impacts. We have to do more in terms of how we treat with our continued sustained efforts to clean the drains and gullies, how we build and where we build, and the type of material we use and the safeguards, and even our general awareness of how we treat with sanitation and conservation practices, the use of renewable energy. We can do rainwater harvesting, different things we can adopt, and we're trying to do that more, and we're seeing it in the policy framework. So things are happening, but we can do more. Crime reduction, that's a general area, the level of crime and violence, and we've seen tremendous initiative over the last couple of years now to treat with it, and it not minimizing what went on before, because it has always been an issue, but we are seeing in more pronounced ways with the zones of special operations and the sort of convergence, bipartisan convergence around recognizing that there's consensus that this is a serious problem, and we need to do more with that. When you look at murders per 100,000 and those issues, so we have more to do, and there's a softer side of crime fighting, that more than just hard policing and the clearing and holding and locking up and dismantling gangs and the search and so. But is how do you create opportunities in volatile and vulnerable areas? How do we do skills training and development? How do we treat with the type of infrastructure where people live, and tearing down zinc fences and community center build out and all those issues? Issues of identification. So we speak of the NIDS, the National Identification Program, where we can get people who are identified, who have birth certificate. You have some people who are not on the radar, and people who may be deported, different things. And so we have areas to improve in. And yes, we're careful to say that we have made progress, because it's reflective. The progress is reflective of hard work by many people. Civil society, you had a public sector that was under wage restraint for many years, and people working hard in teaching, nursing, sanitary, all these types of public workers, administration, and they have to tighten the belt also. You have private sector, the people who may hold paper, and the wealth holders and so, who have to take haircuts and to take restructuring their debt. Everybody giving something, and it has shown, and we have something to show for it. So we are careful to recognize that progress, but say we still have a way to go. We are in an era where we speak of private sector-led growth. It was always a phenomenon, you would argue, for some time, but the emphasis on it being as pronounced hasn't been as great as it is now. And why? Why is that? Many countries have been, and particularly developing economies, have been saddled with high debt, a debt burden, and a characteristic low growth and high unemployment. All these attendant challenges to economy, which rendered governments relatively ineffective in trying to stimulate economies. So economic theory says when a country is faced with a recession, when demand is down, what you call aggregate demand, and conditions are weak, that a government can stimulate that economy by doing more spending and taxing less. Unfortunately, a lot of developing countries don't have that. They don't have the resources because it goes to debt servicing. And they're saying, no, if countries are really to move and for growth to pick up, it's the private sector now who's not that way challenged. The private sector has their own challenges, but then they are able now, if they can be innovative, if they can drive job creation, particularly small and medium enterprises. So people are looking more globally now, looking more to the private sector. And so the private sector has a critical, tremendous role to play. The private sector is where you would expect a lot of your innovation to come from. So there's still a role for government, but the private sector has a tremendous role to play. So I've been married 11 years now. So my wife is an ophthalmologist. So I tell people we see eye to eye. It's a bad joke, I'm sorry. But tremendous people, tremendous, she's good people, and have my back, yeah? And I think it's key. It's key that you sustain your relationships. And I have to guard against taking her for granted, because she's consistent, boy, one of the biggest cheerleaders, and you know, those big on family, and if I have to travel, and so I don't worry, right? She's huge, yeah, in that way. That's very good. And I think, you know, I have, you know, relative that said, you know, younger relative thinking of getting married, and said, boy, we want what you and Auntie Gail have. We want it like that. And I said, wow. You know, and so without realizing, people look at you and see. And yeah, it takes effort, but it don't feel like an effort. So that's important. And so we have 2 sons, Matthew, eldest, Joshua, is 9 now, and Gabby is 7. And boy, they're everything, right? You say, people say, how do you find the time? And I'm hearing it all the time, right? So I may read at a class, huh? It's reading week or teacher's day, and so on, I'll come and read. And it's not easy, but it's worth it. Huh? I tell people investment means it's going to cost you something, but it has a benefit that outweighs the cost. And so we make investments for our family. What does wealth mean? A lot of what I've said embodies wealth. The Bible says if you have 2 coats, give away 1. Wealth is really the ability to impart and to impact. That you have something to give. Happiness index says people are most happy when they are giving to something else. And I tell people, even while we say the great investments in life, they say you must invest in yourself. And that means your spiritual life. You can gain the whole world. I've put on a preacher hat now, right? It doesn't do you any good to gain the whole world and forfeit your very soul. So you must make provision for your spiritual life. Don't lay up for yourself treasures on earth and you are empty, poor, deficit towards heaven. Build your spiritual life. It's your spirit, man, the Bible says, that will sustain your infirmity, all the challenges and weaknesses and the pressures to quit and to give up and to inflict harm even on yourself and others can be combated by a spiritual alignment. And then we say continuous learning. All of these are part of your wealth. And then finally, investing in other people.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
This week on Home Sweet Home, we go around Jamaica to visit a few of our most historical homes, each with their own little story. Our first stop, let's find out.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got. Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is at play.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious
about business.
Serious about business.
It's the perfect place for professionals to be. All roads lead one way to 100 Hope Road as Creative Media and Events presents another edition of Corporate Mingle, networking with a purpose. Join us here on Business Access TV for the highlights.
Good evening, everybody. And welcome to Corporate Mingle, the GKI family. Welcome to everybody. We just want to quickly share with you our Premier Biz. So this is one of our new innovative solutions targeted at small businesses.
This week's edition of Corporate Mingle is brought to you courtesy of GK Insurance. That's Grace Kennedy Insurance. And with us now is the Assistant General Manager of GK Insurance, Shaluk Richards. Now, Shaluk, first and foremost, you've got a pretty good turnout here at 100. Are you satisfied with the numbers that you're seeing?
Yes, we are very satisfied. It's a lovely turnout. Corporate Mingle, an event that we tend to participate with and sponsor from time to time, and so we're very glad and happy with the turnout.
Why did GK Insurance take the decision to sponsor Corporate Mingle though? Is it part of your marketing strategy? Are you targeting a particular group of persons?
The product that we're pushing this afternoon is our Premier Biz, and so we expect that within the Corporate Mingle audience or participants would be a number of persons who, from the business community, be small, medium-sized business owners or persons who have small business owners as their clients. And so we wanted to engage with that segment of the market as we seek to bring a great awareness to our product.
Now share with us a little bit about that Premier Biz feature that you have with GK Insurance.
Sure, so Premier Biz is a product that we've put together for specifically geared at the small and medium-sized entities. Now, it's an umbrella product, so instead of having to get individual insurance for the various classes that a business owner would normally needs, we've put it together in one package for the business owner. And so we're talking about a combination of 7 different coverages. So we're talking about your business, so that there's a property coverage, the loss of money, employer's liability, public liability, goods in transit, personal accident. So we have a number of cover that is put together under this one umbrella so that the business owner has all the insurance coverage that they need without having to work it out for themselves.
So the obvious question is, would getting a package from their Premier Biz package, would that save a business money?
Definitely. One, it would save the small and medium-sized entities, save their money, but it will also provide them some coverage that sometimes they would not normally would have gone for as a small and a medium-sized entity. And so it's also looking after the best interest of the client and not just about the saving alone, but also how do we add value to the small business owner.
As a small business owner, would I be able to reduce the areas of coverage? So you made mention of, like, for example, like goods in transit. What if my business is around offering a service, so I don't necessarily have goods in transit? Can I say, hey, Premier Biz, I don't need the goods in transit bit. Can you tailor something specifically for me?
And I'm glad that you asked that, because especially the goods in transit is really specific to the nature of the business. And so yes, there's an opportunity to customize in relation to also increasing the limits. So say, for example, the amount of money that you manage is not at the standard limit that we have in the policy, and you want to increase that limit. We also allow you to increase that limit as well. So there are a lot of flexibility built in the design of the product.
So we're still here at Corporate Mingle, sponsored of course by GK Insurance, and we're speaking with Shaluk Richards, and he's the Assistant General Manager. Shaluk, so you're here at Corporate Mingle, you're sharing this information. We know we can find it online, but what's the next step for you in terms of where next are you touching to really reach out to those small businesses?
So we'll be participating in expos so as to engage these small business owners we'll also have it online. So it's already on our website, but we'll also have it on social media as well. And so we're going targeted to where the small business owners are and also the persons who they engage with. So talk to their bankers because they also get guidance from their bankers as well. So it's to engage with the persons who are supporting the small business sector.
Well, we wish you all the very best, and certainly to small businesses out there. Give GK Insurance a call. Visit them online at gkinsurance.com and find out about Premier Biz. You're watching Corporate Mingle right here on Business Access TV. Serious about business. So Corporate Mingle just doesn't happen by itself. You have a really dedicated team working hard behind the scenes, working before the event to really make it a success. And one of those persons is Leighton Davis of Creative Media and Events. He's with us now. Leighton, so Corporate Mingle took a bit of a break for a while, but it's back. And the big question people want to know is they're hungry for Corporate Mingle. They want to know how often can we expect it?
Well, you know, we actually had one in February at ATL. It was a huge success. Over 200 persons came out. And I think the capacity for it kind of, it not surprised us because, I mean, we've been keeping Corporate for over 7 years now. But I think the popularity has grown so much and people, as you said, are so hungry we have to find the right location. We chose 100 tonight only because we wanted somewhere different. And in terms of how often, it depends on the sponsorship. Right. But right now we're looking at maybe quarterly or bi-monthly.
You made mention of sponsorship. GK Insurance is on board. How easy or difficult of a sell was it to get GK Insurance?
Not hard at all. I mean, GK has actually sponsored us about maybe 3 times already. Not only in Kingston but in Montego Bay and Mandeville. So they had a promotion going on and they gave us a call, and of course we're always ready to facilitate them because they're one of our partners.
Now, of course, companies don't just partner with you because they have some money just laying and not using. It's a part of a strategy for them. Right. Share with any potential business owners, companies, corporations looking on and say, hey, you know, why is Corporate Mingle a good vehicle for their brands?
Okay, well, I mean, Corporate Mingle is Jamaica's #1 networking event and the longevity of it. But listen, once we put our Corporate Mingle on social media, no matter what day, I just said today's a Thursday. The first we ever kept on a Thursday, and over 100 odd persons are here. And we really started promoting this maybe 4 days ago. It's good value for money. It's what we call a ready-made chicken. Just like when you buy a rotisserie chicken, that's the concept. You sponsor the event and you get everything put together for you. Or you have to show up with your banners and you have an event with people here to sell your products and services too.
With that said though, my introduction suggested that, you know, you have a team working hard behind the scenes. How difficult or easy is it to pull everything together?
Right now, it's a little bit easier because we've done it for so long. We have a very good understanding. We have a template then that we work with, and our account executives, they work very hard behind the scenes. They put everything together. The key thing is working with our partners. So because it was the first time at 100, negotiating with them, the terms and deals might have been the hardest part, but once we got over that hurdle, we're good to go.
All right, well, we wish you and the brand every success, and we look forward to the very next one.
Thank you. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Having come here, Marcel, were you able, or have you been able to identify persons who would fit your bill, so to speak, or are you the right fit for some other persons who want to do business with JN?
It's an interesting dynamic. I really was just coming here to just observe, but a lot of persons have approached me not knowing the capacity that I'm in, but I've made interesting links and contacts with persons, and I know for a fact that I'm coming away with fruitful information.
So for you, this visit to Corporate Mingle, you'd say has been a successful one, a rewarding one?
It's actually the best mingle, and it's not really for show, it's actually the best mingle that I've been to thus far.
A little birdie told me earlier that you won a prize for being here at Corporate Mingle. What prize did you win?
Early bird prize. It's a thing. I think in project management we're all affixed with time management. So I was actually the first person here. So I have to collect the prize and hug it up.
They say the early bird gets the most worms. So certainly that prize would have been one of those, eh?
Yeah, most definitely.
You're watching Corporate Mingle right here on Business Access TV, serious about business. We'll have more for you right after these messages.
Dodgen Global offers a CPA scholarship program to team members who join our team. A career in accountancy at Dodgen Global is a great choice and can offer you excellent job prospects. We believe that an accounting education is the greatest gift you can give yourself or anyone else. Few gifts make as significant an impact as the gift of an accountancy education with a job. It's a contribution that lasts a lifetime in the form of learning, opportunity, and success. Join our team and get the opportunity to be part of our CPA scholarship program. This scholarships awards program will be administered by the HR department of Dodgen Global. Requirement: first degree in accounting. Employed at Dodgen Global. Willing to pursue the CPA examination? Here's how to apply. Submit application to Staff Accountant, Dodgen Global. Email sa@dodgen.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of Corporate Mingle here at 100. That's 100 Hope Road. With us now is Alexis Chin, and she's a marketing manager. What's the crowd like? Are people coming out?
The crowd is amazing. I mean, we have everybody here. We have, of course, Jamaicans that just take over the sports lounge. So much so that we've opened up the terrace for lunchtime here. We have drink specials, and the feedback is really amazing, and we're just loving the vibe from everybody.
Let's talk about 100 generally, because this space is becoming known for having like corporate events. There have been a couple of album launches. I've seen comedy shows. I've seen live music. Just talk us through the variety of enticing opportunities for persons to come for business or pleasure.
Well, I mean, 100 is, it's like it's like an ultimate experience, an experience like you've never ever seen or heard of before. And we have a campaign running right now, a marketing campaign. It's called 100 Reasons, and this is just the answer to it. We have so much going on here. Every night of the week is a different event. Mondays we have crab night, Wednesdays we have our live night, Fridays we have fish fry, Saturdays we have Meritone here, and there's a lot more coming, and we have comedy on Tuesdays. I mean, this is the place that you want to bring your business members and have your meetings here. We have also companies that come here and they have their staff retreat here, and they take over the whole of the HDTV wall. It's just such an interactive place. There's just so much to do and so much that you can have here, and how to utilize this space is all up to you.
And once anyone wants to stop by, whether a business or a pleasure or to make a booking, all they got to do is call 100 and ask for Alexis Chin.
Yes, or you can just call 100. That person that answers the phone will help you as well. Right. But any special events I can help anybody with.
As we continue here at Corporate Mingle, sponsored by GK Insurance, we've got the MC for the evening, Marlon Campbell. Marlon, Corporate Mingle has been off for a little while, but it's back with a bang. They've started with you, but just describe the atmosphere.
No, it's good. It's just like the old Corporate Mingles. You have lots of professionals here. Networking, it is the premier networking event in Jamaica. This is a Phoenix. It's really good. It's back.
Now, is Corporate Mingle something that you'd probably encourage business entities to sponsor, to be a part of?
Definitely. I mean, one, you're getting a captive audience of a lot of persons who you'd like is your target audience overall for most products, at least, right? And as for the persons, like the professionals and so forth, it's a good place to come because your network is your network, or whichever way they want to flip that. But yeah, it's Corporate Mingle. I recommend it to anyone, everyone. If you're a leader in business, you're just starting, whatever, you work forward. It's a very, very good event.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing you continue working in action. You're quite an impressive MC. When you have that microphone, you seem to come to life. I must pick your brain about that as well. Is this a lucrative income stream?
We're not going to talk about that, but let's just put it this way. It makes sense doing it. It makes sense to do it. And you know, I always tell people that I'm the antidote for a boring event. So If you want the event to have some fun and you want the event to be lively, call me. I won't let you down in that area. But yeah, an event like this is easy to MC, really. It's just about mingling with my peers and just having a conversation with them. So I'm glad I'm doing this one and I'm looking forward to the next one.
All right, so it's the host with the most. It's Marlon Campbell, the MC here at Corporate Mingle. They say good things come in threes, and I'm pretty sure we found a good thing right here. We've got from my immediate right, Shauna, Nicolay, and Chantel, and they're all here at Corporate Mingle. Let's start with you though, Shauna. Corporate Mingle, a well-known brand, but why did you decide to come tonight?
I came tonight to basically meet new people in the corporate world, advertise my firm, and to make new friends.
All right, we'll talk a little more about your intentions of coming here. But Nicolay, how did you find out about Corporate Mingle tonight?
We found it on Facebook, which was very convenient to us, and we signed up, and we're here tonight.
All right, good stuff. Chantel, apparently you guys all roll together as a team. Describe your friendship or your association.
Well, we are partners. We have a law firm, Howell, Johnson and Lawrence. So this is Johnson, Lawrence, and I'm Howell. We also have a corporate services, HAL Corporate Services, and we intend to register a restaurant, HAL Restaurant and Lounge. So we are building an empire, HAL. So yes, this is the partners.
So I'm among some legal luminaries and
strong businesswomen. Yes.
All right, now describe your experience here. I mean, you're here obviously, as you mentioned, to promote your firm. Has it been productive for you so far?
Yes, it has been. I've met a couple of people. Yes, exchanged business information. It has been productive.
Can we expect moving on from here, probably in another year, maybe shorter, maybe longer, to hear of some project that was developed from meeting someone here?
Actually, yes, we met up with some realtors, so we can expect purchases and sales very soon. So the opportunities are really endless. There's a lot of different persons here with a lot of different business ideas that can be useful to us. And so far, it's been very productive.
Now, is this a sort of setting that you'd encourage small businesses, micro enterprises to participate in?
Absolutely. Your business can't expand unless you network. So whatever events come out, network, meet people, build your business.
Well, I had no idea that I would have been talking to three of Jamaica's strongest, youngest businesswomen just like that right here at Corporate Mingle. So the firm, Howell, Johnson and Lawrence, and we've got Shauna, Nicolay, and Chantel right here at Corporate Mingle. So Corporate Mingle is all about professionals being able to network and integrate and meet with each other in a very cool open space. And here we have with us Mr. Ramon Walker. Now Ramon, just share with us a little bit about the business you represent. What do you do?
Well, I'm Ramon Walker, as you know, from Caribbean Assurance Brokers, and I'm an account executive. And we have a wide range of life, health, general insurance products available. I mean, just come to 94D Old Hope Road, right? And you'll be satisfied. That's all I can tell you.
All right, now.
We always take our customers to the ultimate value-added experience. Right?
That's what you call a shameless plug. But let's talk about... But Ramon, if you're into insurance, then a setting like Corporate Mingle is a natural place for you to want to be.
Yes, excellent, excellent. You know, because you're a lot of nice people here, you know. We're mingling, you know, making contacts. Whether you're building your brand, you're promoting your business, or you're linking up with a friend, you know, an associate.
Have you been able to do business as a result of attending Corporate Mingle?
Yes, definitely. And I would recommend it. I would recommend it every week, actually. Not every last Friday or every month, every week. Yeah. Right? At 100.
Especially at 100.
Especially at 100.
Just in case you missed Corporate Mingle, we've got all the highlights right here on Business Access TV. Stay tuned.
Cameo takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people, we went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry. The chaos of creativity meets the the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo.
Welcome back to Corporate Mingle right here on Business Access TV. Let's take a look at some of what you would have missed just in case you weren't here. Corporate Mingle attracts a wide variety of business professionals across a wide variety of business categories. One of them is security. This is Stephen Thompson of Stellar K9. Now, Stephen, let's share with us a little bit about what your business does.
All right, right now what we're doing, we're based out of the United States, and we're training police dogs and military dogs for the JCF and JDF in the detection of illicit contraband, firearms, explosives, tobacco, so forth.
How did you get involved in that type of business?
My dad was in the U.S. Air Force, and he was in charge of K9 for the Korean War and Vietnam. And we started a security company in '74. So from the day I was born, I grew up into it, and I just took it to a different level now.
Now, of course, dogs don't live forever, but all good dogs go to heaven. How do you get your dogs? Just share with us a little bit, give us a little more insight into the business.
All right, the dogs are sourced out of Europe, so from Czech Republic, Slovakia, Russia, and Germany.
Do you go for particular breeds, and are particular breeds of dogs better suited for this type of activity?
Correct. So we use the Belgian Malinois, German Shepherds, and Dutch Shepherds. Typically, where the world canining has gone to, it's those three breeds. They're smarter, they're more energetic, and they're bred specifically for working purposes.
So now let me tell you, I grew up with a Labrador, and I love them. They wouldn't be quite suited for this, eh?
Labradors are very good dogs, but the terrain in Jamaica and how Jamaica has changed with the firearms that are coming in, we need a dog that is more likely to work longer and has that deterrent factor, because we all know Jamaicans hate dogs. Right. We'll take a gunshot before we take a dog bite.
As we continue here at Corporate Mingle, we're catching up with another young professional who has just come to meet, mix, and interact. With us now is Sarah Lou Walker. Sarah Lou, just share with us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, so I'm a paralegal assistant, and I work at a real estate law firm, and I run my own nonprofit organization called the Angelic Ladies Society, where we offer empowerment, mentorship, and social enrichment sessions for the girls inside South Camp Rehabilitation Center.
All right, now you're here at Corporate Mingle. Why did you choose to attend?
So Corporate Mingle for me offers a little bit more than the regular networking events that I usually go to. I meet a lot more of the echelons in corporate society, where you get to network, find out what they're doing, as well as meet new budding entrepreneurs and see how best you can collaborate or partner with them and share your ideas. Also for me, it sparks creative ideas as to what else I can do.
Corporate Mingle has got to be the only event, the only networking event where you can come, interact with professionals, and also, well, get a massage. We're standing now with Nayoka Smiley of Adam and Eve Day Spa. You've got Amelia and O'Neill working. Why did you choose to come into the middle of this networking session to do massages?
Well, Adam and Eve understands the importance of brand recognition. We know that we have to place our brand in strategic position in order to get market share. And so therefore, everywhere you can find Adam and Eve Day Spa will pop up and offer complimentary services, because it's important.
Are you suggesting to me, Nayoka, that a business could probably call Adam and Eve Day Spa and go, hey, listen, we've got some stressed out people in our office. Could you come for 4 hours, 5 hours, and just take them through some nice massages to kind of relieve a little stress?
Certainly. We not only offer services in the spa, we do house calls, we do office visits. So if it is that you have a company, you have stressed staff, you can call us. We come all over, set up, and give your staff the massages.
What has the response been like when you do executions like this?
Oh my God, it's always overwhelming. Like, when are you coming back? When are you coming here? When are you coming there? It's always overwhelming because massages are very important. It relieves stress. We're living a stressful time. So therefore, massaging is very important and persons that enjoy getting a massage.
So once I'm through talking to you, then I can probably just go have a seat and have Amelia take care of my shoulders?
Most definitely, most definitely.
Can we expect to see Adam and Eve Day Spa at more corporate mingle events?
Certainly, we have always been in support of corporate mingles. We find it as a very interactive engagement, and we always like to interact with our clients. So therefore, we're always on board for corporate mingle.
Well, I'm going to relieve myself of some stress, courtesy of Adam and Eve Day Spa, and you should too. But guess what? You're missing out. Don't miss the next corporate mingle because they will be there. With us now is Larry Green, and you're probably wondering, where are we talking to Larry? Well, he was just in the Adam and Eve Day Spa massage chair. Now, why did you attend corporate bingo this evening? What's up your sleeve? Why did you choose to be here tonight?
Really, it's just to socialize, interact, build a network. I'm with an IT company called the Blue Chip Strategies, where I am pretty much the IT manager there. So I pretty much run the technical department. So I wanted to share more about our company, what we do, the partnerships that we have with the leading vendors in the industry, and to learn more about other companies and how we can open up revenue streams and have business coming in through each other's doors.
With all you just mentioned in terms of your intention for coming here, have you been able to meet that? Have you met anybody here who your services can be supplied to their businesses or vice versa?
I do believe so. I've met some persons who are interested in IT services. In this age and age, everyone has a need for some sort of IT service. So whether it be disaster recovery, endpoint protection, or the hardware, because we're partners with Lenovo as well, there is somebody who has a need. And we've identified some persons so far, and we're very happy about that. Kudos to the organizers of the event.
Of course, Larry Green of Blue Chip Strategies. Take a look right here at Corporate Mingle. What type of business are you in?
We're in graphic designing and printing.
What's the name of your company?
Crystal Cameron Designs. Graphic design is our niche product, and we specialize in interactive designs. So we're not just your regular graphic designer. We actually are targeting clients who wants to do email marketing on campaigns and want everything. So our newest product is eSavvy, and our tagline for that is designs that click.
Yes. I like the use of that pun. Have you been able, since being here this evening, to secure clients or persons who are at least interested in following up with you?
Yes, we have been able to secure people who are interested in looking at our products and see if there are any opportunities.
And let me ask the flip side of that. Have you met anyone who can help your business to expand?
Absolutely. We have met people who I can see that going down the road, these are useful people that we can use to grow our business.
Awesome. So we've done all this business bit. Let's get into the pleasure side of things, because you were just in the chair just now. Describe your experience in that Adam and Eve Day Spa chair.
The experience has left me sitting the interview out, and my body is so relaxed. I don't know if your viewers can see the glisten, the glow. And to see this is not tired by any chance. This is just a great sense of relaxation that has come over my body. O'Neill, who was my masseuse, he's like the massage whisperer.
We're pretty much back where we started, except that the difference now, the place is lit. Like, literally, it really is lit. So there are lots of folks on the inside of Corporate Mingle. Over 100 persons came out tonight for Corporate Mingle. Networking with a Purpose was brought to you, of course, by Creative Media and Events, and sponsored by GK Insurance. Thanks for joining us right here on Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
Empowering deaf and hard of hearing people to help build our nation. That's exactly what the Jamaica Association for the Deaf is doing. Caring Hands recently visited the facility to meet some of the people that are benefiting from the association and who are helping to make a change. This is Kamar Groves, a deaf culture facilitator and technical assistant at the Jamaica Association for the Deaf. Having lost his hearing at the age of 3 following a bout of fever, Groves has proven himself to be very adept at computer repair and installation, and has become a proficient videographer and editor since joining the JAD in 2005.
Basically, my role is I'm a technician, and I have actually a variety of responsibilities. One being I do computer repair, as well as I develop manuals such as the manuals they use for teaching sign language in the sign language class, as well as create DVDs for teaching various participants to learn sign language, as well as creating those DVDs for instructional purposes on helping people to develop the sign language appropriately. And then I also travel to various of the schools to do filming for whatever is needed, whether it's for the teachers or or even the students. And then we have a team that work together to evaluate the filming, what needs to be changed, what needs to be improved, and then also, you know, what we can do with helping the students to improve in their sign language skills. When I first started working here at JAD, I was doing what is called BLSH, which is both language spoken here. That's what it classifies as. And basically what it is we had a variety of children's storybooks that we would translate into Jamaican Sign Language. And then we would visit parents' homes and teach them how to sign those stories so that they can read with their children in those storybooks in sign language. And as time went on, I became the official technician here. My achievements, I would say, is one, getting married. And I got married to a hearing person, which is something I wanted to do, as well as being able to assist others by doing computer repair, as well as being able to expand my skills of teaching sign language as a sign language instructor, as well as being part of, for example, member of the board. So being able to participate in that. And now I'm a president of Deaf Sports Jamaica. So I have achieved quite a number of things in my life. I did attend school at Listomere Gilby High School and learned some things, but very basic, like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Access. Learned some basic computer, how to do things on computer, but I also experimented with YouTube. I like to observe how things are done on YouTube and then try it myself, you know, and I'm one of these people that try it until I've learned how to perfect it. So that's pretty much how it worked.
Some members of the deaf community are being equipped to gain meaningful employment through skills training at the JAD Bindery. The Bindery had its genesis as a skills training facility to train deaf youth in the craft of presentation and renovation of bookbinding. It was conceived as a center that would provide vocational training in a profession which was compatible with the deaf community.
My name is Valerie Facey. I'm chairman of the Danny Williams School for the Deaf. I am a member of the executive board of the Jamaica Association for the Deaf. And I am the person who conceived of the idea of the bindery and is hoping to see this new building for a bindery happen before I leave the planet. I've always been passionately involved with books. I love books, and I'm now a sort of very small publisher. But publishing and binding and anything to do with books is very dear to my heart. And I thought, you know, I think this would be a good thing for people who are deaf, because you work with your hands and your eyes. And as long as you have dexterity of your hands and you have an eye for design, and it would be something that you could be trained to do. You don't need to talk, really. And so it was an experiment. And it actually worked very well to begin with, but we didn't know enough about running a business, and so unfortunately we failed on that occasion after quite a few years. And then we reestablished it, I think it's nearly 20 years ago now, up at Papine, where we now have the Lister Mayor Gilby School, and on one side of the road, and this is all at Papine. And we have the Danny Williams School and the preschool on the other side. So we're still out there trying to find a way to put up this building so that we can expand the bindery into something that will really be meaningful and will be self-sustaining and make a real mark for the deaf, because we can do all sorts of wonderful products. Desk sets, for example, which is leather or bindery material. We can do portfolios, scrapbooks, wedding albums, funeral albums, guest books. I mean, there's no limit to the number of things we are capable of doing. But we need space to be able to train more people, and we need the facilities first before we can really move on with this. But I'm determined this year that we've got to get it done.
Coming up on Caring Hands.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Take the guesswork out of improving your IT infrastructure. The field of IT changes so quickly that it can be hard to plan a strategy while keeping up with technological advancements. Yet, without a strategic roadmap built on data-driven insights, your staff can be overworked, spending excessive time putting out technical fires, instead of focusing on strategic tasks that fulfill core business needs. Our IT consulting services are the first step towards transforming your enterprise IT and improving your business efficiency. Our experts have the industry experience and best-in-class tools to methodically assess your entire support operation. We look at your IT support services holistically, identifying improvement areas that will have the greatest impact on employee productivity, service levels, and customer satisfaction. Need help improving your infrastructure uptime? Contact us to discuss a solution that will provide you greater productivity and efficiency. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
In this one degree, you're able to do many things.
I think the field found me.
I'd rather work with the deceased than work with the living.
Let us open your mind to careers you've never considered.
Miniature model maker.
Being technician.
Animator.
With empowerment.
Career moves.
Anywhere money is, that's where I am.
This is where Desmond Sr., the first deaf person to graduate from Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts, and Ricardo Hibbert, who has been working at the binder for 12 years, spend most of their time doing what they love best.
There's a white man, his picture is actually on the wall over there, that gentleman there. He taught us how to do binding, and I learned very quickly how to develop that skill of bookbinding. I was also working at Listomere Gilbert School, where I actually did some binding there. And also, I've been working here for 20 years doing binding. What I like to do most is sculpting. And I enjoy sculpting more than actual bookbinding. Sometimes I would do that work at home. I would work on it even on the weekends. Well, I practiced my drawing when I went to art school, and I developed my skill of artistry as well as painting. But I was fascinated with sculpting more than painting. So I began working on that on my own, so I really enjoyed it. Well, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my background. I went to school at Listomere Gilby High School, and once completing school, I came here, and one of the supervisors here taught me how to draw and helped me to develop experience and skill as a binder. Sometimes working here can be a bit stressful, but over the years of working here, I've gotten used to and accustomed to things, so I really do like it. We have a new gentleman by the name of Sean, and one thing that I have done is I have been his trainer, and Desmond also trains him as well. So we work together to train Sean since he's new, help him to develop skills. I'm thinking to plan maybe to develop a business of making jewelry. So I'm not really exactly sure how I could go about doing that, but like the leather on watches and also necklaces and so forth. But that's something I would like to do.
The establishment of a school for the deaf started way back as far as 1938, and since then has become a safe haven for most.
I started with the Jamaica Association for the Deaf way back in 1954, when my father-in-law was the chairman of the association at that time. My father-in-law, C.B. Facey, Cecil Boswell Facey, worked with Reverend Gilby when he first arrived in Jamaica in 1938 with a mission to find deaf children and start a whole organization for the teaching of deaf children. So my father-in-law was involved from that time, and by the time I arrived on the scene, he was going to retire as chairman of the association. He was bringing in a new chairman, and he wanted me to join to represent the Facey family, which I was very happy to do. However, I didn't know anything about deafness or doing, I was new to Jamaica. I'd only been in Jamaica 3 years at that point, and I already had a husband and 2 children, so I was very busy. But anyway, I had to put my shoulder to the wheel and do whatever I could. So as an untrained person, I went out as a caseworker. And in those days, I traveled into Jonestown, Myerstown, Passmore Town, Bellevue Hospital, all over the place in the inner city. And people assumed I was a nurse, and so they accepted me. And so there the blind were leading the blind, but it was the deaf this time.
Coming up on Caring Hands.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got.
Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
Takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people, we went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry. The chaos of creativity meets the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo.
I am Jackie Tyson, and you're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Effective Guidance is the platform for all students, and this is where Tash comes in as she provides an opportunity for students to relate to her on a daily basis.
I work as a school counselor. This is Lister Mere Gilby High School, and basically my work entails from grade 7 to 13, assisting the children, helping them to identify themselves, as well as counsel them, as well as instruct them. And that's from grades 7 to 9. Now, from grades 9 to 10, I work with those students to help them to, once they identify who they are, they know who they are, help them to establish goals for the future, help them to analyze their skills, what it is they value in life, and I work with them on a one-on-one basis so they can identify what their goals are for the future. From grade 10 to 11, I assist them with career planning, how they can transition from school to work, providing them with resources, whether they want to attend university or to do some type of particular job. I assist them with helping them get training to do that. So I also do parenting and work with the teachers as well to help lessen behavioral problems with the students, as well as work with the parents on any challenges that they're having at home, assist them with that in order to help them to advance well here at school.
There's so much that we don't know about the capabilities of the deaf. One of them is the fact that they can actually dance to music that they cannot hear. A team from the Lister Mere and Gilby High School recently entered the Jamaica Cultural Development National Deaf Dance Competition, which was developed for the deaf.
We got a story. The theme for this year's festival was child abuse and the awareness of child abuse. And so we all got, we did workshops using stories and frames for us to create our dance from. When we came back and I was discussing the story with the students, they kind of wanted something else because neglect is the abuse that is most common to the deaf. So they wanted to do something on neglect. So we all pulled our ideas together, and once we got a storyline of these two children who were neglected by their parents, we kind of built from there. So The students are really good with routines, and once they get a feel of the music and I tell them the kind of music and give them the tempo, once they hit the rhythm, they're gone.
Despite the challenges, there is always hope, and the love that they have for what they do gives them the satisfaction in knowing that they are helping to make a difference in developing themselves as well as others.
Sometimes working here can be a bit stressful, but over the years of working here, I've gotten used to and accustomed to things, so I really do like it.
They are full of a lot of energy. It's really a great experience working with them. The thing I love most about my job, the children. I really love it, I do.
I feel personally that everyone has their individual potential. And working with the students, and I see the students have their aha moment, so to speak, recognizing their own potential, it brings me great satisfaction being able to learn various skills from volunteering here in the past, working with other teams, has really personally benefited me. It has empowered me to be more of an advocate, as well as to teach others or educate others on how they can work with the deaf community, as well as empowering other deaf people within the community. My actual goal, since I work as an artist, what I would like to do is have my own exhibit.
The work that goes into teaching those children and trying to make them citizens of this country and to be educated, it's a miracle when that happens.
It's arguably the most significant invention to come out of Jamaica in the last 2 decades. A medical doctor, a mechanical engineer, and a computer scientist used technology to develop a way to train heart surgeons across the globe more efficiently. The heart simulator developed at the UWI-Mona is now being used by several universities across the world to train surgeons. Professor Daniel Kaur, who worked on the project, says after shelving the first prototype and moving on to other projects, he and the other inventors involved received a call that would change everything.
So in late 2007, we heard from Dr. Richard Fines, who was at the time chairman of the American Board of Thoracic Surgery. He had seen a video that had been released along with a paper that we had published. And in the video, we were just showing a small clip of what the heart looked like while, in operation, in use. And he wrote to Dr. Ramphal, basically did a little internet search, tried to find him, sort of located an email address for him at UWI, by which time he had already left UWI, and wrote him and said, I saw this video, is it real? Because if that's real, I'd love to come to UWI to see it, and would you be willing to set it up for us, because we are examining possible simulation environment scenarios for the cardiac surgery training, and this is something that we would like to sort of take a look at just to see what it can do and whether it's good for us.
After some persuasion, the team decided to go to the University of North Carolina to set up the prototype.
First time set up, right? So all these prominent heart surgeons had just come in to take a look at what's going on. everybody was kind of blown away at just how realistic the heart beating was, and how realistic the whole environment was. So they took out the video footage and took that to their annual meeting that year at the Society of Thoracic Surgeons. And with that video at that meeting, just sort of, it caught the eye of everybody who was at that symposium that year. And that ended up getting us invited to technology symposium for cardiothoracic surgery. And we got re-invited year after year.
Soon after that, the UEMONA developed heart simulator was a sought-after tool when it came to training heart surgeons.
It then got to a point where other places wanted one. They kept saying, how can we get one of these at our institution? So it was kind of around that time, that was started around 2009, that we started talking about how to get multiple ones of these. And by around 2011, we'd actually built them. So in that interim, we had negotiations, sort of thought about how to sort of make it a little more structured and sort of help ourselves get to the point where we could be talking to people who might want a license.
The simulator then ended up in some of the top medical schools in North America, revolutionizing the way heart surgeons were being trained.
Harvard's Mass General Hospital, University of Rochester, there was a University of North Carolina, Johns Hopkins, Vanderbilt, Mayo Clinic, University of Washington, and Stanford.
This was the first time ever heart surgeons in training were being exposed to real-life circumstances.
Kind of what I mentioned before, where you might have the pig's heart in a bowl, or I suppose if you're working with a cadaver, which is going to be realistic, but it's a dead person, but nothing where the heart is, or actually a live pig. That is the closest that you could come if you wanted to get a full-blown operating room scenario where you are standing around, there's a apparently living, beating heart, and you have to give the right instructions, and you have somebody controlling a pump, somebody controlling anesthesia, and then you have your partner in front and you're supposed to be giving the right instructions, and you're learning not just the specific procedures, but also the management of your team. The only way you could really reconstruct that without having a real patient on the table was a live pig. That was the closest you could come. So what our simulator was providing these guys with was a context in which they could reconstruct any scenario they wanted, when they wanted, at the time they wanted. So from the purpose of teaching, if today's lesson was to teach you something that hardly ever happened, they could make sure it's scheduled what's going to happen because you set the simulator up to deliver that. So for them, that was a great opportunity to change how training in cardiac surgery could work, right? And at the same time, you're getting this high fidelity model, right? So you're not putting any patients at risk. You have this model that looks real. It bleeds when you cut it. It has a pressure. It shows you a computer trace that looks like it's a real trace on a monitor. So for all intents and purposes, just because you set it up, it's not real. But for all intents and purposes, it looks like a patient on the table.
The heart simulator has not only used technology to totally revolutionize the way heart surgeons are trained, but it is also helping to better equip surgeons to deal with real-life situations in real time.
There are some well-rehearsed procedures, as in over time, they've developed some procedures to respond to a particular kind of emergency. But if you as a resident only get trained via the operating room, then the only scenarios that you become familiar with are the ones that you see. Now, of course, if you see 100 cases, 200 cases, then they start thinking, okay, you're ready, you're competent, you can go, and you are going to be certified as capable of practice on your own. But what if the scenario that we're worried about isn't one that occurs so frequently? It might be 1 in 1,000 cases, it might be 1 in 2,000 cases. Those are still potentially life-threatening. You still want somebody who is going to now become an attending to know how to deal with them. And in the old situation, before our simulator, the only way they would have really gotten that exposure is through a textbook or somebody telling them, if you ever encounter this is what you're supposed to do. So it's kind of a hypothetical, and the response is really a kind of theoretical response, or it's a hypothetical one anyway. With a simulator, we can now say, okay, next week's lesson going to be how you deal with this. And I can tell you what you must do, and I can set up the simulator to make that emergency occur. So while you're doing your thing, suddenly something happens and you say, what's going on? And it's for you to A, recognize that there's that emergency going on, and then B, act appropriately. So you can actually now practice that, which is not something that you could have done easily before.
The heart simulator is the first UE patent to be commercialized, and with the recent commitment from Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke to pump more government resources into research and development, it is hoped that more patented inventions coming out of the University of the West Indies can be commercialized.
Hi, I'm Roderick Francis, CEO of B&D Trawling Limited. The business was actually started by my father about 35 years ago. And, when he died in 2011, I officially took over the spot as head of the business, but I've been working with him in the business for over 10 years prior to his death. We have been established from 1980, and my father has always been involved in boating and boats, and his father was a marine pilot, so he's been around boats all his life and fishing all his life. So at that point in time, I guess he wanted to make a commercial activity out of it, and people love seafood, so I guess it was a natural transition for him. My dad funded it out of pocket. He already had some boats, so started with his boats that he had, and then when he was able, he purchased, really specific kind of commercial fishing boats, and then took it from there. B&D Trawling's mandate is to provide the highest quality seafood to the global marketplace. So the two main items that we export all over the world are conch and lobsters. They're all fished in the Jamaican waters, and we're also recently fishing deep water snappers as well. We cater to the seafood lovers and people who love quality seafood. There's a trend around the world for healthy food now, and the thing is that Jamaicans don't understand what they really have. So what we have is pristine, untouched waters. So there are people all over the world that come and are looking for fish and seafood that are grown naturally in a healthy environment. So we produce quality Jamaican products and export it all over the world. So we export to China, we export to USA, Canada, Singapore, Thailand, all over. We've recently started the importation of some products that are not available locally here. So we have partnered with a major seafood distributor in the US, which we have been exporting to for over 30 years by the name of Beaver Street. Their brand is Seabest, and we have been packaging products under their brand for over 30 years. And it was just a natural progression for us to start distributing the brand here in Jamaica, including the Jamaican line of products as well as other products that are not locally available here, such as salmon and shrimp and scallops. What makes us unique is that, we sell our product to the first world. So Jamaicans on a whole love quality seafood. That's why they go to the beach and stand up and wait for the fisherman to come with his boat and come up and they get it fresh there. So what we are doing and what makes us different is we really try to bring that to the customer without the hassle. So, you know, you don't have to go down to the beach to fight for your fish. You can come to our outlet, you can come and you can get the same quality that you get there, or even better, at an affordable price and in a great environment. So what makes us different, what makes us competitive? Mainly, again, the quality of our produce. So initially, the funding was put up by my father, but one of the great growers or facilitators of our business has been our partner, Exim Bank, and really they have helped us to really grow the company rapidly in the direction that we have wanted, with low cost financing, US dollar loans and things like that. We are a profitable company and we continue to grow our product range and product line, so we're on a very good profitable path. Where our business is located is very strategic. We're located on the port of Kingston, which is strategic not only for vessels to dock here, but also in close proximity to the airport, as well as to the Kingston Wharves and Kingston Container Terminal, which most of our goods go out on. So it's very strategic. It also helps us to increase the quality of our product, because usually there may be one other plant in Jamaica that is located on the waterfront. So what this does for us is increase the quality that we're able to produce. So it comes directly from the boat into the plant instead of coming by boat, then travel by land and going everywhere. So that's how we keep our quality increased as well. We employ over 200 persons here, and they are mostly women from the inner city communities or surrounding communities. And we very much believe in community development and supporting our surrounding communities. So the first place we look is right in our neighboring communities where, jobs are hard to find. And we look there and we have been very happy with the quality of workmanship which we have got so far. In the management level now, we look for the best people, because I believe, for me, no matter what it costs, to have the best people. And it goes all around. I'm not saying that the lower level people are not the best. Yes, we do have some of the best people in the fishing industry here that come from the inner city communities, yes, as well. But we look for, on the higher level, we look for education is very, very important. Experience is very, very important on the higher level. The majority of the workers are based in our processing plant. So they would have several divisions of the processing plant. So all throughout the process, so they would come in, you would have ladies filleting or cutting the product. Then you would have people washing the product. Then you would have people weighing the product. Then you would have people bagging the product all the way through to the end process, and until it's loaded into a container and shipped. Our culture is definitely family-oriented. When my dad started this business and he was here, he was very much a family man, and everybody, every employee that has been here, some of them from the beginning, we still have employees that have been here for 35 years with us. And it's just a family environment. We can I have an open door policy. Anybody can come and talk, and any issue, it can be outside of business, anything, and we all come together and help each other when we need it. Typically, I work about 12 hours per day, so about 9 to 9 in office, and then plant workers work on a shift basis as well. So some persons may come in at 6 o'clock and leave earlier. Some may come in at 10 and leave later. So it's flexi hours, and sometimes during the lobster season, or most times, we have a night shift as well. Being an entrepreneur is very tough, especially a business owner, and time management is a very, very tough task. So the major challenge will be to balance, work and life, and home life, and being a young family member, or I would say having a young family. It's very, very tough, and you have to kind of carve out time for your family and make sure that you make that time, because basically it's your business, you're so enthusiastic about it, you want it to succeed, and then so you put all your time and your effort and everything into it, and really try to keep it as vibrant as possible. And a lot of the times when you do that, your personal life suffers. So the challenge now is being able to really create that balance.
Accounting services. Providing financial information to our clients in a timely and accurate manner is a commitment that we feel cannot be compromised. Meaningful, well-organized financial records ensure that your business operations will run more effectively on a daily basis. Dodgen Global provides a full range of cost-effective accounting services, including the following: general ledger and financial statement preparation, bookkeeping, monthly, quarterly, annually, accounting system set up for new businesses, compilation of financial statements, audits and reviews. For more information and to discuss your requirements with one of our experts, please contact us today. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
As CEO, you always really want to think about the big ideas. Where do you want to take the company? What is your vision? And what are your goals? So, I spend a lot of time sitting down and thinking about where we want to go and what we want to do. And out of that, then the ideas come. So you kind of focus on the consumer, focus on the market, and see where it's shifting, see where it's going to be tomorrow, and kind of innovate before, so that when the market shifts, you'll be in that position to really take advantage of the market. The most important thing for us here, we are competing on a global market. We're competing in first world companies. We mainly ship to Europe, so these people know seafood, they know quality products, and you really have to have a quality product. That's number one. Number two, if you're talking about retail or service, the customer experience has to be good. So one of the things we focus on really in our pop-up kitchen that we do once a month is really focusing on an authentic experience. So when you come down, you can really feel a natural Jamaican environment and all local produce, and really get that natural feel that the customer will feel at home and want to come back. Being an entrepreneur and running your own business, there are going to be challenges every day. If you don't have challenges every day, then there's a problem. But it's just how you deal with those challenges. Being a primarily export company, our main challenges are red tape issues or having, a competitive environment here. So when I speak about competitive environment, again, we're competing on a global marketplace. So our competitors have access to cheap fuel, cheap electricity, cheap labor, all of those things. That's what we're competing against. And Jamaica doesn't necessarily have some of those items. So you really have to kind of be innovative and creative and try to, get in a niche where you can create that efficiency to be able to compete globally. My failures have been too many to mention, so I'm not going to really single out any failure, but I can say, I fail all the time, and anybody who doesn't fail or hasn't failed I can say, has never been or never will be successful. So failure is not the problem, is how you recover from failure. And that's one of the main success factors of an entrepreneur. So the successful people, they will learn from their failures, and what John C. Maxwell would say is fail forward. So you would fail and build up from it. Now, if you fail and you keep making the same mistakes over and over, then you're going to be in a problem. So it's just how you react to the failures and how you overcome them and keep going. You try to prevent as many mistakes as possible, but it's part of the failure. You can't prevent mistakes. Mistakes will happen, things will happen, markets will change, everything will change, and you just have to react, and you have to react quickly and in a positive way. So you can't really say that you're going to stop mistakes. Again, you don't want to repeat the mistakes. You make it one time and you put measures in place not to make those mistakes. But it's just a simple, continuous improvement process that you keep going on, and little by little you improve, and minimize the mistakes. Well, definitely growth strategies. We're looking at now diversifying our product range. So a big part of what we do is export, but we have never primarily been in the local market or distributed in the local market. So we have just started that now to actually distribute in the local market, and the actual response has been overwhelming. So, what we do is basically to grow, expand into different areas and looking now at acquisitions and things like that to grow the company. Our most successful form of marketing thus far has been social media. It's really on the cutting edge right now. Jamaica, being lovers of phones, lovers of TV and computers and that kind of stuff, social media is really taking it to the next level now. And really, if you want to stay on top of your game and grow your business here and overseas, the best tool right now, most effective tool is social media. Right now, for social media, one of the biggest tools that we use are video and actually, cooking tutorials, things like that, which get people engaged and get them trying your product and testing it and reviewing it and that kind of stuff. So definitely moving more towards video. For me, I'm willing to go to the ends of the earth to succeed, because for me, failure is not an option. I must succeed, I will succeed, and for me, as long as I keep that attitude, I will succeed. One of the best things you can do, or one of the main laws for success, is having a positive attitude. I really can't stress it enough. But there's a book, one of my favorite books, called The Law of Success, written by Napoleon Hill. And anybody who is really interested in being successful, they really need to read that book. And it lays out really all the different points of what becoming successful entails and how you get there. But one of the main things, of course, is knowing where you want to go, knowing what you want to do, and keeping it on the forefront of your mind, and just pushing every day to achieve that goal. I define success as, balance. And, when I mean balance, sometimes people value success as having money or having, material things. I don't really view that as success. For me, success, I view it as being to help people. So I have a business so that people can be employed and generate, income, that kind of stuff, and have a healthy lifestyle. So when I talk about successful, I talk about having good relationships with your family, having a balanced lifestyle, healthy lifestyle in terms of, just the food you eat, everything, So success for me is a balance of work, personal life, and charitable things. Of course, I have fears, my greatest fear, I would say, there's always a fear of going out of business or that kind of fear. But, I don't really fear it. The fear is always in the back of your mind, and that's why you always have to, be on top of your game, really push hard to be, successful in business and really stay on top of the things that make your business successful. So it's there in the back of my mind, pushing me like with a stick there to keep doing my best, keep going the extra mile. But failure or it fuels me.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
If you want to be successful, you really have to have what Mr. Hill would call a definite purpose. So what it really is where you want to go, what you want to do, where you want to be. That's what fuels me. I have a goal. As CEO, you set the large targets. And, once you set that large targets, then you're going to have to set some smaller targets along the way. So what fuels me is really achieving those goals. So you set those goals and you achieve them. Basically, it really fuels you. So it gives you a boost when you achieve a goal and you know that you're on the right path and you know that you're getting somewhere. So that's what really fuels me. I have many inspirers, but first and foremost, I look to my dad and his legacy and really upholding his legacy and really what he brought to the table. So, he inspires me and had always inspired me to do better than he did and carry it to the next level. And, we've been trying and been really doing well at that. So, inspire, yes, start with my father. And then, there are many persons. You have Martin Luther King, you have Barack Obama, you have all these really positive people that, you gain inspiration over time with, and you're trying to align yourself with their ideals and just push forward. Favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur is the kind of shifting landscape and the thrill of actually owning your own business and knowing that what you put in is directly related what you're going to get out of it. So you really spend a lot of time putting in a lot of energy, knowing that you're going to get the results. I attribute my success mainly to my team. Number one, you have to have a solid team. So you really have to have the best people on board, and you really have to be aligned and work well and mesh well together on a common goal and really move forward together. I don't have one event that I can single out to say that has been my most satisfying moment. You go back and you look at it and you set your overall large goal, and in between you have your small goals. And the most satisfying moments are when you achieve your milestones or your small goals along the way, and it really gratifies you. I mean, any entrepreneur, any business owner is going to have to make many sacrifices. You make sacrifices in time, you make sacrifices in money, you make all sorts of sacrifices. And believe me, I don't think there's a time when you stop sacrificing. But the challenge is really to create a balance. So, now, you really invest a lot of your time into your business, and you really have to try and spend some time with the family as well, and really know that business is not everything in life, even though, you really want to push and remain successful. Non-work time, I'm a seaman, so love to go out on the boats or go out on the water, that kind of stuff. I really enjoy doing that. What makes me happy? Being healthy, having a great family, that really makes me happy. And achieving my goals. Well, future plans, definitely we want to, on a smaller scale, open up a 5-star seafood restaurant down here on the downtown Kingston waterfront. We're looking at building a new plant, which will cost us about $20 million US, state-of-the-art plant. So we're looking to expand, we're looking to do new things, but remain focused on export so we can really bring in that foreign exchange and stop the sliding dollar. So if you want to start your own business, my first piece of advice would be to get your education. Education is extremely important in an extremely competitive business environment. So number one, get a college education. Number two, you need to always go the extra mile. So if you want to start your business, you really have to go over and above and go the extra mile in doing your business. Third, don't be afraid to fail. You're going to fail, and it's just how you react to those failures which will make the difference between your success and the other person. So you really need to push forward and just don't give up. Number one, just don't give up. Keep pushing.
Started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got. Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
We go around Jamaica to visit a few of our most historical homes, each with their own little story. Our first stop, let's find out.
Creating change. Building a future. Caring hands. Giving back. Touching hearts and shaping lives. Impacting our world for the better.